finds Sandifer, who hits the jumper from the elbow.
Fast forward now to the end of the first half. D'Lo Brewster there getting the steal. He'll go coast to coast and lay it in right at the buzzer. That gave them a 47-26 halftime lead, and it was all she wrote from there. After opening up the game on a 28-2 run, head coach Billy Wright and the Leathernecks would never look back in this one. They're able to win their home opener 95-48.
Garrett Covington led the way with 15 points and 6 rebounds, while Dalen Ankrum tallied 13 points and 8 boards.
Staying inside Western Hall, WIU volleyball looked to end their season on a high note against conference foe Nebraska Omaha this past Saturday.
As always, the final home game of the season means it's senior day. Kaylee Simmons and Krishna Merriman being honored before the game. The Leathernecks looking to end the home season in style. Very first play of the game. Shaylin Greenhaw sends one over that grazes the net, but the service ace works. Leathernecks strike first.
Later in the set, Mackenzie Bouse would set up Shia Sanders for the kill. Leathernecks would take set number 1. To the second set we go. Omaha gets off to a quick start. Here is a block there, combined block by Chloe Doucette and Amanda Conlon. They took a quick 1-0 lead. And the second point would go Omaha's way as well on the service ace. They would score the first 5 points of and then win set number 2.
Let's advance to the fourth set as Omaha has a 2-1 lead. Elise Brown sends one out of bounds. Attack error gives Western a 23-18 lead. Brown would try it again though, and this time it gets blocked by Eliza Washington up front. That made it 27-26. Set point for the Leathernecks. Shaylin Greenhaw gets the kill, getting it past Megan Roth. Leathernecks take set 4.
And we will go to a fifth set. Omaha on the attack. That one was blocked in front by Riley Schumacher, keeping the Leathernecks hopes alive. But we go to match point for Omaha. Melanie Patino with the service error, and the Mavericks would take a thriller in Western Hall.
The Leathernecks drop the season finale 3-2. WIU ends the season 4-28 overall and 1-15 in conference.
Coming up, the Macomb Lady Bombers basketball team opened their season against a tough Peoria Christian squad. We have all that action next.
And the WIU men's basketball team opened up the home slate against Oak Hills Christian on Sunday. Stay tuned for full highlights right after this.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Good morning and welcome back to Local Sports Focus.
The Macomb High girls basketball team played host to Peoria Christian in the first round of the Macomb Invitational at Washington Street Gym.
Let's head there right now. MHS looking to start off the Lady Bomber Classic with a win of their own against Peoria Christian at home. There's head coach Zach Keene getting his girls ready to go. Let's go to the first quarter. Nicole Lester on the break. She'll find Jordan Hare, who lays it in for the Bombers. Macomb strikes first. Quick 2-0 lead there. And once again, the junior Hare working in the paint, using that great post game to spin and get the basket. Bombers took a 3-point lead.
How about another for Hare? She attacks the basket and gets the shot to go through the contact. Now 11-8 in the first quarter. Then the Chargers start showing some life and the Bombers fall asleep on D, and Madison Fisher takes advantage, hitting the three. Alex Neve would answer here, driving in the paint and giving the Bombers the score. Coach Keene on the pep talk after the first quarter.
Let's go to the second. Peoria Christian was up by 3, and they'll do it once more after some great passing. They find Fisher again for a wide open shot, nothing but net for the senior. 23-17 Chargers later in the quarter. Here's Nicole Lester getting past the double team for a sweet layup. That made it 25-21 Peoria Christian. And this time using the paint to score, Keishana Washington would find her on rebound right there, and she lays it in on the second chance. Let's fast forward to the second half, and Watson, well, she just picked up right where she left off, laying it in there from the baseline. MHS was down 10. Chargers kept adding on to that with this Brianna Holt triple from top of the key, and it would be all Peoria Christian from there.
Macomb High drops this one 54-39. The Lady Bombers take the court again tonight when they will play host to Pleasant Plains.
And Bomber basketball will officially be in full swing when the boys tip things off next week in Jacksonville.
As preseason preparations continue, the team spoke to us about their expectations of the season as well as what it will take for them to head back to the postseason.
Home High boys basketball team, who points out the biggest difference from last year's Bombers that played in the regionals, which is experience.
We had kind of a veteran group last year, some guys that had played a little bit of varsity the year before. This year it's going to be brand new for a lot of these guys on the varsity level, and so trying to get them used to the speed of the game is probably going to be one of our biggest challenges here at the beginning of the season.
That challenge will be greeted by Coach Anderson's players, who are confident that they'll be ready for the challenge at hand.
I think last season, when we went to 3A and regionals, it was a wide, opened our eyes a little bit because that was our first time there. So I think this season is going to make us work a lot harder to prepare for that.
We want to win a record. We want to win the conference. You know, we want to do good in regionals, maybe win it, go to sectionals.
In order to achieve that goal, Coach Anderson knows his Bombers will have to commit to improving on defense.
We spend probably 3/4 of our practice time on the defensive end of the floor trying to develop those habits. You know, if you can't make jump shots, if one night you're not shooting the ball very well, you can always rely on your defense. So that's where we spend a lot of our time. And so if we can go to Jacksonville and play hard and play with those really good defensive habits, we'll compete with anybody there.
He's a big guy on defense. He likes getting after it on defense, and I think the players coming up to varsity really realize that defense is big for him.
We had a decent summer, so the guys got their first taste of what it's going to be like playing on the varsity level. And so we're really excited, and I think that they'll be anticipating having success. And so I think a lot of our guys are really looking forward to it.
They're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the start of the season as well. The Crimson Classic begins next Monday in the Jacksonville Bowl.
Stick around after the break. We head to Hanson Field as we take a look at the Leatherneck football team from Saturday.
Plus, we hear from Coach Charlie Fisher on the mentality of his team. We have more local sports focus on the other side of the break.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
And welcome back to Local Sports Focus. The WIU football team played host to Northern Iowa in their final home game of the regular season.
That's right. Let's take you there now. It was senior day at Hanson Field. And how about senior Lance Lenore, the receiver, hyping the team up before the game? They look ready to go. And, of course, Nathan Knuffman and family taking the senior stroll before kickoff. Let's go to the first quarter. Panthers are in the red zone. Eli Dunn finds Trevor Allen there to set up a first down and goal from the 3. Just 2 plays later, Michael Malloy will run over a defender for the touchdown, 2-yard score for the junior back, and the Panthers were on the board first. Next UNI drive. This is on 3rd down in the preseason. All-America linebacker Brett Taylor. He doesn't miss this time, chasing Dunn down for the sack. Panthers led 7-0 after a quarter of play.
And how about we go to the second quarter here? Riggs Baxter, he leaps up and he deflects the pass, incomplete. Nice play by Riggs Baxter. UNI kept the drive alive, and Dunn found Cunningham, who scores from 9 yards out, 4:51 remaining in the second quarter. But the ensuing PAT would be blocked. Nice way to break through. UNI would lead it 13-zip. The senior Knuffman for WIU would connect on a 29-yard field goal, getting the Leathernecks on the board with 39 seconds to go. 13-3, UNI leads. Leathernecks stroll to the locker room, down 10 at half.
So the second half right around the corner. Coach Fisher making some halftime adjustments there, but would it be enough? We go early to the second half. UNI on the move. There's a fade route to Darius Fountain. He's got it for the 3-yard touchdown. That made it 20-3. UNI. Leathernecks were trying to counter. Here is the senior Joey Borsellino with a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch. Great concentration there. With 3:49 left to go in the third, McGuire finds a sliding Zeke LaShore in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Made it 20-9 after another blocked extra point. Watch out for Zeke LaShore later on in the game as well. Now, Western ball late in the third. Sean McGuire on the carry up the middle. He loses the ball. It was Carter Schultz who forced the fumble. UNI would take possession, but then they couldn't take advantage because here in the fourth, this is Dunn firing into the end zone, and it's Eric Herrera with the interception, his first career pick, and what a time for it.
Ensuing Leatherneck drive, McGuire is caught from behind by Ricky Neal. Another fumble recovered by the Panthers. Deshaun Dexter, he recovers it. Still 20-9 UNI early on in the fourth. And now here is a controversial play. Trevor Allen with the ball. He catches it and loses the ball. He was ruled down after contact by review. He was ruled down by contact after the review. This led to Michael Malloy running to the corner, looking for the pylon. Touchdown, UNI, 6-yard run, making it 27-9, UNI, 7:34 left.
Leathernecks would need a score, and how about Lance Lenore? Breaking free, and he is wide open for another touchdown. Western was trailing 27-16 at this point with 6:08 left after that quick score that they desperately needed. UNI will recover the onside kick. It led to this, a 21-yard field goal by Sam Drysdale. Panthers were ahead with 2 touchdowns with 1:58 to go. Here's Sean McGuire here, keeping the play alive, directing traffic, firing into the corner, and it's LaShore again for the touchdown. Leathernecks are still in at this point, 30-23 UNI.
Last chance for Western here. A good onside kick gets the nice bounce, but UNI would fall on it, and they seal the deal and win the game. Leathernecks drop their last home game of the season to Northern Iowa, 30-23, Saturday afternoon at Hanson Field.
Western's own Sean McGuire put up 237 yards with 3 touchdowns and went 25 of 42 on the day. Brett Taylor earned 18 tackles as well.
Everybody in the program, from the players to the coaches, know what's at stake.
That's right. It is a do-or-die scenario for the Leathernecks in Carbondale on Saturday.
Mentality that, like, you're not going to be denied, and you go relax and play championship football. Every play is it's playoff football. Everything's on the line every snap. So you got to be prepared. You got to be focused. You got to be relaxed. You got to go get the job done.
The Fighting Leathernecks head to Carbondale this weekend to take on the Salukis, who have a record of 3-7. Kickoff is set for 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon.
Coming up after the break, I'll sit down with a state title coach who's one of the best in Illinois and brought home a championship this weekend.
You have 2 minutes to grab a cup of coffee and join us back here for more Local Sports Focus.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News 3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News 3 has really taught me to believe in myself, and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Local Sports Focus, where we have a state champion in the building with us this morning, the head coach of the West Prairie Cyclones, winners of the 1A state championship in Illinois. Coach Terry Plios today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much. All right, well, let's talk about that feeling once your team finally held up that state championship. What was it like sharing in that celebration with your girls?
Well, it's hard to describe in words the actual feeling of being a state champion. I'm not sure it's totally, hit us yet, but it's awesome. It's been the most wonderful experience.
Talk about all the hard work that your girls put in all this season long to win this title.
Well, we began the summer season June 14th, but it really goes back to, I guess, 7th grade. We've been together that long, in many camps and clinics and club seasons, and a lot of weight room training and just a lot of time together.
Now let's talk about the mindset in the games right now, where you guys were going down after the first set, went down 7-1 in the second. What was the overall mindset of your girls at that point? What was your message to them at that time?
Well, they've had a pretty awesome never quit attitude this year. It seems like we have been down in several tough matches. In fact, we were very close to being eliminated in the regional finals at Concord Triopia versus Pace, and we were 3 points from being eliminated. But they just have this, let's get one more point, let's keep working, it's never finished until it's finished, and they seem to, kind of stay with the match and try to manage it point by point.
How important is it to have that type of mentality, especially going deep in the postseason like that?
Well, it's definitely something that we've worked to achieve. We haven't always had that mentality. This year we've really tried to form a mindset of embracing challenge and, not giving up when it's tough, and, go hard under adversity, and it's really paid off for us.
Well, let's talk about some of your senior leaders, Julie, Hannah. They stepped up big and company. What did this mean to all of your seniors to finally be able to get this championship in their final year?
Well, I'm sure they're thrilled. I mean, I've always known they have been a talented group since 7th grade, but they have not been able to get past the regional. As a class in junior high, they did not. A couple of them dressed on that 2013 state team and didn't see much court time. Of course, that's kind of typical for a freshman to dress but not to get on the court. So really this is their mark that they've been able to make this year.
Obviously a terrific career for you, 35 years as head coach. What did it mean to you personally to be able to bring a state title to the school?
Well, a lot of people have teased me, you know, that it's only taken you 35 years to do this. We've placed second and third and fourth over my years as coaching for Colchester and now West Prairie, but it's just really difficult to put into words what it actually means. It's a phenomenal feeling.
What was your favorite memory? Do you have a favorite memory at all over this season? I know it's been a whirlwind so far.
Well, they have been really fun to be with on the bus. I mean, with technology the way it is now, the kids have their own electronics and, you know, different things that keep them kind of quiet on the bus. Years ago, we would sing and clap and cheer all the way, but this group, they've had a special song and they like to cheer when we get there, and so that kind of brings back old school type memories for me.
It kind of sounds like you got like a real family atmosphere going on with the team. Talk about that a little bit and how important that is when translating over into the court.
Well, they really have been for each other all year. That's been one of our team mission. They set a mission statement and they set the goals that they wanted to achieve this year, and they came up with a set of core values and how they were going to do that. So they have really been on track since day one, and they've stayed together and they've played together and they've been for each other. So the cohesiveness of the team has been great.
Let's talk about next year, final year for you. What are the early outlook? What's the expectations for that final season?
Well, of the 15 kids that dressed for the for the state tournament team, I have 10 juniors, a sophomore, and a freshman off that squad returning. So 12 returning players, and then I have a couple more juniors that go along with that. So our numbers are great, and the talent is there. And if they can put together the same kind of cohesiveness and work ethic, I mean, we have a lot of talent at West Prairie.
Sounds good. State champion West Prairie Cyclones. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach Paul.
Thank you.
And we will be right back with more local sports focus on the other side of the break.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
My favorite thing about NEWS3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. NEWS3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Well, welcome back. One of Macomb's very own has made conference honors many times in his career, but this past week he made national headlines for his play on the football field.
Macomb native Brett Taylor was honored with a national mention for Defensive Player of the Week. Taylor graduated from Macomb High in 2013.
That's right. Taylor was named preseason All-American and is the current Division I national leader in solo tackles. He set a career high with 15 solo tackles and 18 total stops against UNI.
Now, here on Local Sports Focus, we want to inform you, our viewers, about the sporting events going on at Macomb High and Western Illinois University.
And we will end our show with a look ahead at next week's sports for the area.
Our first schedule, we are going to start with the Lady Bomber Classic basketball tournament held at Washington Street Gym. The Lady Bombers play today at 8 p.m. against Pleasant Plains. Then they're off until Friday when they play Havana at 8 p.m. The Bombers finish up on Saturday with 2 games. First one's at 11 a.m. and then ending the tournament at 8 p.m.
The Macomb High boys basketball team is also in a tournament this upcoming week in Jacksonville. They'll start off against the hometown team at 7:30 p.m. on Monday. Bombers are back in action on Wednesday against Pleasant Plains. That'll be at 5 p.m. After Thanksgiving, the team will start again on Friday evening at 5 p.m. against Dunlap High School, and the Classic will wrap up on Saturday. And Macomb has 2 games at 10:30 against Chatham-Glenwood, shout out to Danny Fry, and later that evening at 5 p.m. against Morton.
Western Illinois University starts out their week schedule today with men's and women's basketball games today. Women's tips off in less than 2 hours at SEMO. Then tonight the men's team will play SEMO, but at Western Hall. Game time is set for 7 p.m. You can catch that on ESPN3.
And on Saturday, Fighting Leatherneck football will finish their regular season at 2 p.m. against the Salukis in Carbondale. Later that afternoon, the women's team is back in action against Northern Illinois inside Western Hall. And finally, the men's basketball team will take on Crown College next Wednesday at Western Hall. Tip-off is at 2 p.m.
Thanks for joining us today for Local Sports Focus. We will be off next Wednesday because of Thanksgiving break, but we'll be back the Wednesday after that.
That's right. And for more sports coverage, join us for Live at 4 on Thursday. For Jason Chauvin, I'm Redrick Terry. And for all of us at the Local Sports Focus, have a great morning.